Have you ever wondered what it would be like to drive a Formula 1 car in the snow? Well, I had the exact same curiosity as you, and that's why I decided to put it to the test. Is it possible to drive a Formula 1 car in the snow? And what other crazy weather conditions can we drive an F1 car in? Make sure you hang around to the end of the video, because we attempt to race in the snow, and, well, I'll let you see for yourself just how funny the results are. Before we get into the crazy weather conditions, I'm gonna set a lap time now on the dry track, just so we got a baseline to compare the crazy weather conditions to, and so you guys don't think I'm completely shit at driving. Oh shit. I thought I'd drive as the new Formula 1 world champion, Lando Norris, as hopefully that gives me an extra few tenths as I'm setting this lap. I need to make the most of this perfect track grip because soon it's gonna be ropey for us. Balance in the car feels fantastic. I'm able to flick the car into the corners beautifully. Final few corners now, holding it together nicely. What's the time gonna be as we cross the finish line? 1 minute 46.9. Definitely not my fastest lap time, but I'll take it. I think it's time now though to reveal the first challenge. Oh my goodness. I literally cannot see a single thing. Where even is the first corner? I can't even see the brake marker boards. Just gonna have to brake in a random place. Well, I made it through the first turn. I'm not exactly looking forward to trying to get through Eau Rouge though in this fog. I'm gonna try and take it flat, but that's probably a terrible idea. Oh sh. Well, that was almost a disaster. Imagine if they actually had to drive like this in real Formula 1. It would allow the GOATs of F1 like Lance Stroll to really show his strengths in challenging weather conditions. I can just picture him now absolutely breezing through the field with this thick fog everywhere. It would be truly remarkable to watch. Pouhon's definitely going to be interesting to say the least. I can barely do it in the best of times. And point proven. Well, I think we're still on for a pretty good lap time here. We only had a couple minor issues along the way.
What?
Okay, maybe I made a couple mistakes, but can we just appreciate what is going on here? I can't even see any of the corners before I'm driving into them. I'm having to be super careful on the throttle just so I don't miss the corner. I completely messed up that one. And now the rest of the lap should be completely flat, assuming I have the confidence to do so. Right, I'm a bitch. Stop with all the shouting, jeez, gosh. I cannot wait for this lap to be over. It's gonna be a horrible lap time because I had to lift at every single corner. Let's see what the time is. 2 minutes 10. Oh dear. Up next, we have a literal hurricane mod where the track is, as you can see, completely wet and we have 100-mile-an-hour plus wind speeds. So the downforce levels are gonna be terrible. Even going down the straights, I'm not gonna be able to put the power down particularly easily. I have to be so careful on the throttle. Look at that, the wheel spin is crazy. The wet is not helping either, and the wind is just pushing me all over the place. I am not gonna risk taking Eau Rouge flat out like we tried to in the fog. Let's try and get the power down. I love aquaplaning. That was kind of a slick 360 to be fair. I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to get the power down the straight. You can see the telemetry in the bottom right hand corner. My foot is barely touching the throttle pedal and I just get crazy wheel spin and the wind also just pushes me from side to side. This is absolutely crazy. I think I've gone into this corner with, yeah, way too much speed. But hey, at least I haven't put it in the barrier yet. I don't think any of this track is going to be flat out in these conditions. Oh my. Barely keeping it on track. I can't even keep the car in a straight line. This is actually impossible. If this is how crazy this mod is, then I dread to think how bad it's going to be when we race in the snow later. Shit. I think we should take a moment though to appreciate how beautiful this mod looks. Can you hear that thunder? Oh my god. And the lightning too. Now that would be a turn of events if my car just got struck by a massive bolt of lightning. Let's try not to spin in the final bus stop chicane here because that would not be good. That wasn't the worst lap I've ever done in the world, but I mean, it definitely could have been faster. And it's a 3-minute lap. Oh my god. And now for the part you clicked on the video for. I'm going to try and drive a Formula 1 car in the snow. And it's more than just snow. This is an ice rink and a literal blizzard. Just like the last 2 challenges, I'm going to do a quick hot lap. And then we're going to get into a race and try and race the AI in this snowy condition. You know what? The grip is actually surprisingly better in the snow than it was in the last challenge where we had the hurricane. I'm still not going to take Eau Rouge flat because my balls are not that big. Let's be a little bit careful in the throttle on the exit. We don't want to spin here again. Getting a little bit of a wag on the rear of the car. That's okay, that's okay. Definitely flat here, unlike it was in the hurricane in the last challenge. We might even be able to beat the 3-minute lap time. I've got to pick my brake point really carefully and be super gentle on the brakes so we don't lock up and, well, I would say aquaplane, but it would be more like ice plane. I'm sliding all over the place. The grip here is very different compared to the first sector of the track. I've just got to do everything I can to try and keep it straight, and I'm kind of drifting it around some of these corners. Let's try that again. Look at that. Tokyo Drift style. I'm not going to take poo on flat. Oh, we're turning into a lawnmower now apparently. The visibility is almost as bad as it was in the fog as well. I don't think it's quite as bad, but it's definitely not great. The grip seems to have just completely fallen away from us. Another little 360 there. Nice. I think I just need to try and stay off these patches of ice because that's what seems to really put the car out of control. Let's see if we can try and take this final sector completely flat. We've got our foot flat on the floor. Let's try and hold it through the corner. No, I definitely had to downshift. I've completely gone off the track. Oh my god. And we've almost finished the hot lap now. If I can just keep the car on the track. That is definitely not the track. That is definitely a wall, and I do not want to go into that wall. What's our final lap time? It's a 2-minute 52. Quicker than it was during the hurricane. And now for the grand finale. This is probably going to be a completely stupid idea, but we're doing it anyway. We've got a beautiful launch. Much better grip than all the other drivers. Let's try and keep it clean into turn 1. Let's not get any damage on that front wing because that will completely kill our downforce. Eau Rouge is going to be interesting. Let's see if we can take it flat. The cars in front of me are flashing, which means they're harvesting. See you later, Alpine driver. And we've managed to take Eau Rouge completely flat out despite the snowy blizzard conditions. I'm going to take the risk here and open up the rear wing of the DRS to overtake the Sauber of Nico Hülkenberg. I've got to pick my braking point super carefully and see if we can overtake the Red Bull, and it's a perfect corner. They're fighting back on the outside line. They seem to have the superior grip on that outside line, but I'm going to power down this straight and outbrake them beautifully. Try not to lock up as we turn into the corner, and I've got to be super careful on the throttle to make sure we don't lose the rear end. Shit. It's fine. I think we can come back from this. We've only dropped down to P10. We still had a beautiful start, but that one mistake has put us back a few places. But I think we can recover this pretty easily. We've got to get some overtaking done if we want any chance of getting back up into first position. The tyres are overheating loads as we slide around some of these corners. We cannot afford any more mistakes in this race. The combination of my overheating tyres and the slippery icy surface of the track is not a great combination. But we're getting some overtakes done and I'm trying my best to keep it on track. Let's see if we can outbrake the Alpine. My rear tyres are absolutely screaming and we're only one lap in. We need to try and cool them down these straights. We're going to go for the dive bomb for P2 position. We've got the overtake done, but Nico Hulkenberg's fighting back and he's got a little bit of damage on his front wing. We win the position. We've held it, eyes set on George Russell, who's in P1. We have to get this overtake done if we want any shot of winning this race. We have got the advantage of the slipstream, so we should be able to get the overtake done here. We open up the rear wing DRS, and we get the overtake done. Now we just have to try and hold position and pray that our tyres hold together. Whoa, the grip is terrible. I can barely keep the car on the track. We're going to have to lift off a bunch to go through Pouhon, otherwise my tyres are just going to completely collapse. Oh.